Hi, everybody, and welcome to Tuesday Talks with my friend JC Moon Spirit and myself, Spirit Soaring. Um, Tonight we want to talk to you a little bit about something new moon medicine. You know, the what you sow at the full moon, you reap at the new moon, right?
Mm-hmm.
But there's more to it than that because what you begin the planning stages for at the new moon as a full moon cycle
Mm-hmm.
to cycle through.
Mm-hmm.
So I like to while I do sow the seeds for what I intend to do at the full moon, I like to manifest the seeds on the new moon
Okay.
to sow on the full moon.
Okay.
So what I sowed last full moon, I've reaped, this week. But I've also manifested what I'm going to sow for the next full moon.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you can probably tell me why I do that better than I can tell me why I do that. Which
Only because I was trained.
um,
So, what Spirit is telling us is about the cycles that we talk about all the time on the shows. We do a lot of readings that center around phases of the moon, and the reason that we do that is because it helps us to understand the phases that we ourselves are cycling through as we go through our moon phases. And this does have an effect on us even subliminally, because if you consider yourself scientifically, you are mostly water when it comes right down to it. And we already know, based on our studies of planetary alignments and things like that outside of astrology, that the moon does affect our tides. So it does pull things up to the surface for us because we're organic material that's mostly water. And when it comes down to the new moon, as Indigenous people, there are certain rituals that we do, like I don't cut my hair outside of a new moon cycle because I believe that new moon represents new growth. I want my hair to continue to grow. It's just sometimes I don't take care of it very well and I need to clip off some dead ends. And I prefer to do that and consign that as a giveaway at the new moon so that I can build a little bit more momentum rather, without as much fraying of my own ends as I get toward the full moon. So it's not just letting go of everything that doesn't serve you and dropping a bunch of baggage at the new moon, although it can be.
right.
It's just, if those are the seeds that you sow, because that's all you intend to do, that's all you get for the whole month. If you do it again on the full moon, it's just more baggage.
Yeah.
If you frame the way that you set your intentions a little differently at the new moon, your full moons can be more calm or fun and less about being stuck in the middle of an S storm that you've created for yourself, because that's all you need to do is just drop the baggage, just drop the baggage. Take, for example, if you want to walk out of stress, you can manifest better self-care methods at the new moon and start stepping into those cycles as you progress to the full moon and see how things affect you. When you go through your waxing phases and stuff like that, be focused on putting things in. And when you're going through your waning phases, phase out the things that aren't serving you.
Right.
It's all a beautiful cycle that we go through on a monthly basis, and it just helps to understand where you're at with it. So since we just had our new moon and we had the Leo Lion portal on the 8th, we thought it'd be a good idea to hit this topic for you.
Yeah.
Good to see you as well, Camille.
We're trying our best, our very level best, to help people move past things that were.
Mm-hmm.
But we also need to think or help them think about, because we always think about things that will be. Things that will be, things that you think are inevitable, are things that you laid into your course for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And those things, like all things, are mutable, because the Creator gave you that choice. The Creator gave you the choice of free will. If you exercise that free will accordingly, moving out of those funks, moving out of those periods of despair should be a whole lot easier. It's not always easy, and easier is a misnomer, because it doesn't really happen that way. You got to do the shadow work to move out of the baggage areas.
And you have to know when to set shadow work aside so you can enjoy the process.
Yeah.
Because shadow work is not always fun, and it is very often a mess. And you have to stop looking at yourself at a mess at a certain point so you can even analyze what still needs to be worked on so you don't tear yourself apart.
Yeah, well, take me for example. I've taken it upon myself to educate certain people about certain kinds of things.
Absolutely.
And I encountered one of those people today, and I didn't exactly respond the way I would choose to respond, because the way I responded kind of cut off actually educating the woman the way that she needed to be educated.
Right. You
She-
got sucked into a troll war.
I got sucked into a troll war by somebody that's not ever going to change. They've made up their mind that there's only one way you can do things, and that's their prerogative. They had free will.
Right.
What I have to do at that point in time is address my free will. Is it worth my time, my effort to actually get into a
Tiff.
verbal repertoire with somebody that's obviously gotten stuck in somebody else's mindset so long ago that they no longer have a complete and total self mindset? And I had to answer myself, no, it's not worth my time. I don't often give up on anything, but I gave up on that. It was just ridiculous.
I agree.
It's not worth my effort to fight somebody that can't see past the pills.
Absolutely. And there are plenty of people in the world who are deserving and ready to receive the guidance that we can focus on, instead of the one troll who wants to try to throw somebody off course because they haven't shed their own programming yet. They've
Right.
sown bad seeds for themselves. But part of our purpose is to educate and to guide people and to lead them on the good red road if they so choose to walk the good red road. And when we sowed those intentions at the new moon, we got a lot of very fast response. So people have been reaching out that needed services, and people have been asking the right questions finally and starting to get back on track.
Following the formula.
Absolutely.
Yeah. We have to remember on the new moon, during the new moon cycle, during the new moon phases, that there are a lot of things that are going to come back to us. Not just the good that we sow at the full moon, but the negativities that we let drop by the wayside if we don't guard ourselves against them. The ending aspects of the new moon offer those things a chance to come back and haunt us. So in walking out of those bad things, sowing the good seeds, remember that we have to keep moving with the good growth to keep the bad things from coming back.
Absolutely.
Have anything else?
Well, I have a habit of creating these things I called mojo bags for a while, because they're just bags that have good energy in them, and they're basically just a bunch of mismatched crystals. And my rule on making a crystal bag for myself is that if it's going to be something that will take negativity away from me, I have to choose what it's going to be replaced with. That's kind of what we're getting at with sowing good seeds at the new moon. It's kind of like making one of my mojo bags. I take things in that are really grounding and that filter out negativity for me, but they don't filter all of my energy away from me either. They replace some of the negativity with things that pull money, or they replace with things that make me feel more confident or more rested or healthier. And it shifts the focus away from there being a problem to there being a solution.
Right.
Something to consider as you're going through your own cycles and sowing your own seeds. Peace and blessings,
Good point.
everybody. Join us for
Not hitting the floor.
Join us for Witchy Wednesday tomorrow with my bestie Sings with Ows and myself, JC Moon Spirit, for our wacky witchy titles and our wonderful witchy wisdoms. Peace and blessings. Yeah, I went there.